recovery. And we wouldn't expect anything less of Coach, but we're all very glad that he's okay and doing very well.
Do you know if he's still hospitalized or is he back at home now?
You know what? We've given the family, their privacy with that. But we do know that this is Michigan, so Coach is in the best care. And, we're excited about moving forward with our plans in preparation for Spain. And that's what we're going to keep doing.
Is it going to drive him nuts to not be there, do you think, in Spain?
You know, Coach.
Yeah.
Last thing I told Coach, I said, hey, man, be a good patient. And Coach is handling, things as I would probably expect him to. We're at the task of making sure, Michigan basketball is running up to his standards, and that's been my primary focus.
Saddi, can you give kind of a time frame of when you find out that he's going to be happening, and were you able to kind of talk to John about how it would go?
Yeah, we knew last week, about a week ago, there was something that was scheduled. As always, Coach B does a great job of preparing us. And so, he kind of handed me a checklist of things that, certainly from an administrative and a basketball standpoint that, we wanted to try to get done. But, in Coach B fashion, he's like, hey, man, this is a great opportunity for you personally and our staff to, really grow and get this opportunity. So there's some things you're going to have to figure out. And, his humor obviously was still intact when he did that. But, again, our business was first to make sure Coach was doing well, which he is. And more importantly now, we have a priority to make sure our team is ready to go so that we're competitive in Spain.
Was there a meeting where the team found out, and how have they responded?
I think everybody, obviously initially it was, like any time you hear about a family member having to go through something. But again, Coach, he's like the excellent CEO in terms of we have this motto of embracing sudden change. So whether it's a plane crash or Mo Wagner getting injured and he's out a couple of games, again, Coach was the first one to say, hey, man, this is a great opportunity for our young players and our leaders to really step up and grow in some areas. And then additionally, again, as our staff, we have an excellent staff who, we all try to be stars in our role. And, I trust those guys to do their jobs, and Coach trusts us, to hold down the fort, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
What's been your impression after working with these guys and this team over the summer a little bit?
We have a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're a young team. They're talented, but when you look at the makeup of our roster, we have 3 guys who've had significant playing time in X, Charles, and Teskey. But the other 13, 14 guys are first and second year players who have either not played a minute of Michigan basketball or played in limited roles. So that's why I believe that this experience to be able to practice for 10 days before we leave for Spain and go over and have this whole cultural experience together, team bonding experience, and then go over there and play 3 games against a really competitive schedule. I know Coach B set it up this way so that it doesn't benefit us to go over and win games by 30 and 40 points. So we might take some lumps along the way, but it'll be a good barometer of what we need to work on and areas we need to grow, moving forward into September and then on into the season.
Saddi, with all those first and second year players, how great is this going to be for cohesion that, these guys might grow together a little quicker than they would in other seasons when, they're abroad for 10 days together?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's an excellent opportunity for guys to really be connected as a group, not just from a basketball standpoint, but personally, our young guys that jump right into class and going through the rigors of the paces of practice. So to be able to go over and, spend some time doing some sightseeing at some of the cool events, now we get to connect on a personal level with some of their teammates. And, I think this is all good for our program, both individually and collectively as a unit.
What have you seen from the freshmen?
Freshmen, you know, they're all talented. You know, they're all talented in their own unique way, which is why we brought them here. But just like any other, 17, 18-year-old kid, they got a long way to go. And, that's our job in trying to put them in position to be in position, as we say. And, our veteran players have done a good job, I think, of, kind of putting their arm around the guys and encouraging them because they know what it was like to be a freshman. But, I also thought that they've done a good job of, trying to push them out of their comfort zone. So, and our staff, again, if we just tried to maintain the standards that, Coach B would if he was here, when he comes back, and that's what we're going to do.
How do you handle being an interim? Do you do what you think John would do, or say what you think he would say, or do you act as if you're the head coach of the program?
Well, I'll answer that this way. One, I am not John Beeline, right? Nobody is. He's the guru. But again, Coach Beeline is an all-time excellent CEO, right? And so after being here 2 going on 3 years now, I hope I've been able to absorb, some of that greatness. But Coach has a very definite blueprint that works. The secret in the sauce is there. But at the same time, I gotta be me, and so in order for it to come out authentically, I understand, what Coach wants to get accomplished here. But then I gotta kind of put my little special sauce on it so that I can uniquely deliver it. Same message, but maybe just a different delivery.
How was that first day when you were the first voice to talk? And, I imagine there'd be times where people look around waiting for, the voice that's always there that is not here.
Well, we're always waiting for Coach Beeline to walk in here. Shoot, he might walk in here now. But, again, that is, Coach Beeline is not a micromanager. He's always given us the ability to coach our players. So it's not our guys' first time hearing myself, hearing Yacht, hearing Dre, and Chris Hunter. This is a great opportunity for Chris Hunter to get on the floor and kind of get his coaching chops together. But, we run a ton of workouts, in our, whether it's individually, with our positional groups. And I think, from that standpoint, our guys have handled it great. It hasn't been, this kind of substitute teacher type mentality. They've been locked in, and we've had some very productive practices.
What are you hoping to see out of the team here, or what are you hoping they'll get out of this trip to Spain? Really?
I'm hoping that we're a more connected group when we get back because of the cultural experience. You got to understand, this is the first time some of these guys have left the country. They've been all over, the U.S. playing basketball, but this is a different experience. This is another layer, to be able to go to a foreign land, literally, hear and speak different languages, try new cuisines, and then play a different brand of basketball because the brand of basketball in Europe, isn't particularly the same. So it'll be an adjustment period. But, all in all, it's about growth. We have this growth mindset personally and collectively as a team that, we want to come back a better version of ourselves going into September.
How's Zach shooting the ball this summer?
All those guys, they have worked their tail off. I mean, that's one kid you don't ever have to worry about, is he in the gym working? He is a worker bee, and that is what part of makes him really good. But, all the guys, I think, have taken steps forward. Obviously, we still, have a lot of room to grow and a lot more work to do before our first game in November rolls around. But I would think that we're pretty pleased, with being so early in the season with our preparation and with our individual talents.
Aside from the basketball, is there anything you're looking forward to seeing or doing over there?
Well, I've been over there. I was over there 4 years ago when I was at Oakland University. So I am familiar with Barcelona and some of the things there. We're going to Madrid also. I did not go to Madrid, but I'm looking forward to it. I will say I am looking forward to going to the soccer stadiums there, And I know my son is probably putting in a bid for a jersey or two, but I love having had the opportunity to be blessed enough to play professionally over in Europe. Spain was one of the countries that I wish I kind of would have played in. So, just to have that opportunity to go over there and enjoy that experience with our players, with our staff, and with some of our family is going to be awesome, I think.
Saddi, obviously the circumstances aren't ideal. What did it mean to you when John said, "I'm giving this to you now"? What did that mean to you personally?
Yeah, I mean, it was, once we, knew that he was, obviously okay, it was humbling to some degree, but at the same time, it's like, do your job, and that's what, I've kind of communicated, to the rest of our staff, like, nothing is changing, but the expectation is, yeah, we got to do our job, and let's all do it at a higher level, because that's the way you honor someone of Coach Beilein's stature. So, we're going to do our best to hand the program back in good order and in a little bit better. But I'm personally excited, and again, like, he was the first one to say, like, dude, like, take advantage of this opportunity, like, because as assistant coaches, you never know what it's like to be a head coach until you actually have an opportunity to sit in that seat and to make those decisions, because we make suggestions as assistants. Coach Beilein makes decisions, and again, I have the utmost faith in our staff, and I think it's going to be a great experience, not just for me, but for the other members, and a great opportunity for us to get better.
Do you know about the quality of opponents how much do you know about these teams?
Not a tremendous amount, but I think in our first game we're playing probably like a collection of what probably would be local free agent guys in the Barcelona area. I know the second team, I think, is a team out of Serbia. They play Kentucky, I believe, on Saturday. So we'll get down in the Bahamas. So, that'll be a good barometer of what we're looking at. But I know that they're really good. If I'm not mistaken, they're a first division team there. So it's going to be tough. And then I was just told, I think, Ohio State, they're playing somebody else. But the third team is the actual ACB team. So, like, that's the first division team. So, like, what I told the guys are, hey, you're going to go up against grown men who are pros, who understand the physicality of the game. They're really smart players. And so, again, like, obviously we want to go and we want to win, but the greater thing is we want to go and be competitive. And again, if that means we take some lumps along the way, then at least we know what areas we need to get better at. And you always know us. What happens early in the season, we become a better reflection of that as the season goes on. So that's the main priority from a basketball standpoint. Just getting the opportunity to play against somebody other than ourselves. And I think the guys are, starting to get a little anxious and feeling that.
Do you plan to mix up the lineups in each of these games and try to evenly distribute minutes, or kind of how's the plan to play? Maybe not. Certainly the returning guys will get a healthy share of minutes, and we'll put our young pups to the feet into the fire, and we look forward to how we do collectively as a group and how we respond.
Saddi, speaking of the younger kids, you knew you were getting Brand Johns coming in this year. Jaron gets had later this summer. What's it mean for a Lansing guy like you to have two kids from the same league where you played your high school ball in the program?
It's awesome. I haven't had a true Lansing kid on one of my rosters since I left Oakland. So, there's always been, good talent, coming out of the area. But I'm just excited for both of those young men to be a part of our program, and excited even more so to be a part of their journey, you know, as they grow and develop as young men.
Jaren's gotten a little bigger since high school. Does it look like?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
You know, he's a.
I'm
he's
talking
a second-
height-wise,
yeah,
though.
he's a second-year college player,
Yeah.
but you know, he's been a fantastic addition, you know, to our team. He's come in with a great motivation, you know, and he's certainly going to help, you know, get our post players better. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, he was looking for a new home, and we were excited to have him, and you know, it's been a good thing. You know, I do have one thing to add. Colin, unfortunately, broke his hand earlier a couple weeks ago this summer. So, but he didn't have to have surgery. But the thing that is a little sucks for him is that he won't be able to participate when we go over to Spain. But you know, we expect him to get back to full basketball activities when we get back. But you know, he's done a great job of staying engaged on the sideline, and you know, the fact that he is going to be able to go over to Spain and still share in this experience with the team, I think, you know, at the end of the day, is going to be really good for his personal development as well.
What's the timeline on that?
He'll be back to full basketball. He'll be back to basketball activities at some point, you know, once we get back. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Which hand?
You know what? I don't even know. Yeah, I haven't paid attention to it. Yeah, but he'll be at practice. But you know, he has good energy on the sideline, and you know, he's been soaking it all in. And you know, to his credit, like, he hasn't unplugged because he knows, like, you know, if you want to put yourself in a position, you know, to grow, you gotta stay caught up with the learning curve. So. He's been fun to be around, even, you know, in his absence of not being able to be on the court.
Anything else, guys?
Excited.
All right, thank you.